the man discovered a strange oil painting. The paint on it seemed to be still wet. Curious, he reached out and touched it. But when he got home, he found that the paint wouldn't wash off no matter what. The tired man didn't pay much attention. However, when he woke up the next day, he saw that the area of the paint had spread, and he could faintly hear a noise coming from his fingers. He hurriedly asked his roommate to check, but the other person didn't hear any sound. The man thought he was overthinking, so he went to the laundry room to get some detergent and washed again. This time, it still didn't work. As he was thinking about how to deal with it, he saw a cleaner waiting outside. After the cleaner saw the man's fingers, she hurriedly told him to cut off the yellowed fingers. The man was shocked and quickly left. He complained about this to his roommate. Both of them just laughed it off. However, the next day, he found that his entire palm had turned yellow. What's worse, a harsh noise kept coming from his hand. The man remembered what the cleaner had said. He decided to cut off his hand, but he never mustered the courage. Angry, the man rushed into the corridor to question the cleaner. The cleaner quickly explained to him. It turned out that she had seen this painting 20 years ago. At that time, the paint on the painting was also wet. She not only touched the oil painting, but also played a prank by smearing the paint on her sister's face. Later, the paint spread wider and wider. To be on the safe side, she cut off her own fingers, but her sister wasn't so lucky. In the end, she disappeared without a trace. Until a few days ago, this painting appeared again. She accidentally saw her sister in the painting. The smart woman realized what the problem was. The man planned to destroy the oil painting directly. The cleaner tried her best to stop him. During the struggle, her ear was stabbed. Realizing he had made a mistake, the man ran away quickly. But after a while, he found that the noise around him was getting more and more harsh. At this time, the man's arm had turned completely yellow. The scenery around him was the same as in the painting. Could it be that he had entered the world in the painting? Suddenly, the man saw the cleaner's sister. He hurried to chase her, but when he ran over, he found the woman was gone. Then the harsh noise rang out again. Eager to get rid of all this, the man finally decided to cut off his arm. At the same time, the roommate found that the man was missing. He accidentally saw the oil painting too. There was an armless figure added in the painting. The paint was still dripping down. The roommate curiously touched it. Looking at the paint on his fingertips, and thinking of the familiar figure in the painting, he felt that something was wrong. A few days later, the cleaner stood in front of the oil painting. She showed a strange smile. It turned out that another figure had been added in the painting. The man was about to turn into a zombie. He originally wanted to end his own life, but looking into the distance at his only 3-month-old daughter, Carl finally realized how selfish he was being. He remembered his wife's last words to him before she died, so he decided to take his daughter to a safe place while he still had his senses. But halfway there, his daughter suddenly started crying. Carl knew his daughter was missing her mom, so he took out his wife's perfume and sprayed it around. His daughter really stopped crying. The sky gradually grew dark. Carl finally found an abandoned rescue station. There, he met a surviving nurse. The nurse kindly helped him treat his wounds. Carl saw that she was very careful and seemed good with children, so he wanted to leave his daughter in her care. But just then, the nurse took off her wig. It was clear she had a terminal illness. Carl had to give up that idea. The next day, he said goodbye to the nurse and set off again. Before he walked far, the zombie virus flared up. Carl weakly held onto a tree branch. With only 9 hours left before he turned, his body began to collapse uncontrollably. When Carl woke up again, he found his daughter was gone. He hurried to his feet to look for her, only to find that a girl had saved his daughter. So the three decided to travel together. On the way, they found a RV. There were plenty of supplies inside the RV. The owner of the RV, seeing the survivors, planned to give the RV to Carl because his whole family had been infected. To avoid hurting others, he was going to take his family away. The man turned around and left in despair. Just then, 4 gunshots rang out from behind. Carl picked up the gun from the ground. He really couldn't hold on anymore. Suddenly, his daughter spoke. It was the first time his daughter called him daddy. Carl felt the responsibility of being a father. He had to get his daughter to the safe zone. As time passed, the zombie virus kept eroding his body. Carl knew he couldn't hold on much longer. When he saw the rotten meat on the ground, he thought of a good plan. With a heavy heart, he kissed his daughter for the last time. Then he skewered the rotten meat on a branch. He put on a muzzle and tied his hands with a rope. In this way, Carl carried the 2 girls and continued on his way. He didn't know how long he walked until they met a group of people looking for the girl. Everyone was shocked by the scene in front of them. The tribe leader wanted to help him end his suffering quickly. The girl reached out to stop him. Under everyone's confused gaze, she took out Carl's wife's perfume and sprayed it a few times in the air. Carl, who smelled the familiar scent, knew his daughter was safe. Only then did he fall down in peace. Back at the tribe, the people lifted the baby's clothes and saw the 2 characters thank you. All of them were deeply moved.